Good evening. Now, making a midlife career switch is seldom easy, but that's what shoe designer MASHIZAN is doing after more than 20 years as a journalist and documentary producer. He launched his debut collection last year, and his creations have been seen on the likes of Solange Knowles, that's Beyonce's sister, and LaToya Jackson. In this week's 5 Questions With, Cheryl Fox finds out more about his journey to reinvent himself.
He describes himself as being in a constant state of jet lag as he straddles between New York, Florence in Italy, and Singapore. Today, the full-fledged shoe designer has embarked on a mission to turn the brand that he launched in July into a global one. Your autumn-winter collection is out, and your spring-summer collection is currently in production in Florence, Italy. Where do you draw your inspiration from when it comes to your shoe designs?
Essentially, the TV background is something that I cannot deny. It's such a part of my career, my life as well, for almost 2 decades. Fall Winter was inspired by a History Channel documentary called Inside the Volcano. That was when I was filming 5 locations around the world. For me, what's most important are the memories that are etched in my mind. Walking on hot, crusty lava on Hawaii's Kilauea volcano, for instance. I remember there was this instance where we were walking on silvery, crusty rocks, and every step that we took, we hear crack, crack, and you can see the molten lava, along the edges. And I was petrified for the safety of my crew back there, with your cameraman and your sound guy walking alongside with you in total pitch darkness. And that fear, I suppose, has been etched in my mind since then. So that memory of that silvery, crusty look, I suppose that sort of inspired me to come up with a pair of booties. In essence, I was trying to recreate based on those memories that were evoked in my mind.
Your journey as a shoe designer began when you decided in your 40s to leave your comfort zone, to leave behind a career that you had built up for almost 20 years. What was your turning point?
We've been talking about it for many, many years, but sometimes when life takes you on a different path and you have a career that's sort of established and stable, you sort of go on that path for a while. But the turning point really came around 2013. I took a sabbatical. I studied in Florence, learned shoe designing and shoemaking. Didn't really think that I was going to launch a brand, to be honest, but somehow the shoes were sampled and we started developing the brand, and before you know it, it's 2 years later we launched the collection, and a year into the collection we've got Hollywood celebrities following us, and it's quite remarkable how fast and how this whole journey has been so unexpected in some ways, I suppose, for me.
Did you know what you're getting yourself into? What was your biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge has to be the running of the business part of it. Designing is one thing, but trying to create and launch a brand that is sustainable, that has been difficult. We're used to doing TV work where you do the rough cuts and fine cuts and before it goes on air. With shoes, I subsequently learned that there are stages as well. When you go into production, you do your samples and prototypes and getting your sourcing from different tanneries. So the whole production cycle is completely new to me, and I had to learn on the ground how it's produced in a larger scale, and not just 1 or 2 pairs. And after that is the marketing aspect of it. I didn't know how to, the 4 P's of marketing. I didn't study it. But obviously, because I think our background as journalists, we're always very inquisitive, we're always questioning and learning, and we're listening, most importantly. But no, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I didn't expect it to be this big.
What have you discovered about yourself along the way?
The human spirit is very strong and it's very resilient, and what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I really believe so. A lot of people thought that initially it's impossible for a luxury accessories brand could be done out of Singapore. We're still on this journey. We haven't quite reached where we want to be as yet, but I'm determined to prove that it is possible, and that if you set your heart and mind to it, it is definitely doable.
A midlife career switch, what's the biggest piece of advice you would give anyone considering it?
I say go with your gut instincts. It's daunting, it's challenging, it's very fearful to embark on that journey, but it's not impossible. It is doable if you just have the faith and work hard at it and keep on believing. You got to stay true to who you are as a person. Your core has to be very strong in that sense. You need to believe, and everything else is just noise, really.
On that inspiring note, we come to the end of News 5 for today. Good night.